What's going on, fellow Walking Dead fans? This is Solid Dave Snake, bringing you guys a brand new review on the newly released Walking Dead Mcfarlane building set, Series 2 blind bag figures. And if you're a member of our Facebook page, the Walking Dead Action Figures and Memorabilia Facebook page, you'll have seen that people throughout the week started posting that they were starting to find these new Series 2 blind bag figures at their local GameStops. And I went to my local GameStop, and sure enough, they had a whole fresh case of them, and I snagged them all up and got all 8 figures here in front of you. And this Series 2 is a little different than Series 1. Series 1 had 4 human characters and 4 walkers. This Series 2 only has 2 human characters and 6 walkers. So the only 2 human characters you're going to be able to get in this wave are this new Rick Grimes and this Tyreese. And to show you what the packs look like, right here we have the human packs with the H up at the top, and here on the right the walker packs with the blue W up top. So that's how you tell the difference between these human packs and walker packs. So you stand a real high chance of finding Rick Grimes and Tyreese because they have even amounts of these human packs as they do walker packs in the case. There's 24 total, and there's 12 a piece of each. So Tyreese and Rick Grimes are going to have a high count in this, a high production count. And once you get one of these, whenever you open it up, you'll pull 2 things out. One will be the actual figure itself and a plastic baggie, and at the end of the video I'll actually take this out and show you how to put it together. This one is the Charred Walker. But you also get a list of all the figures in this series. And we'll get a focus up close and let you see what all figures are in this series. Of course, only 2 human characters, Tyreese and Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes 2, it says. We get Merle Dixon, a female herd walker. Prison jumpsuit walker number 2. Charred Walker, jawless walker, and riot gear walker. So a lot of zombies in this pack. Good for some zombie army building if you plan on doing that with these. And we'll just take a close look at all these. And I'll start it off with Tyreese because he is a pain in the butt to keep standing up. And I'm actually surprised he hasn't fell over yet. But we have actually been seeing prototype pictures of this Tyreese for a while. And he looks just like those prototypes. Pretty bulky figure. It's pretty easy to feel the difference in bags between Tyreese and Rick Grimes because Tyreese's legs are so far spread apart. So there's a little tip for you if you're trying to get both in one grab. But it looks just like Tyreese from the show in little form here. In the same outfit that his 5-inch figure was in, with this whole pouches going along this cargo holder over his shoulders. And of course, what would Tyreese be without his bloody hammer? Did a nice job showing off the blood there, and little blood splatters all over his body. He's got a little on his arm and chest, lower part of his shirt, up on his right shoulder. So, pretty neat little figure, but the way they have him standing, and he's a little top heavy, makes him really hard to stand. You have to really utilize this base stand he comes with. And even with that, he's a little hard to keep up. So we'll set him aside and take a look at the other human character in this series. And that's a 3rd Rick Grimes. We had one in the 5-figure pack from the initial launch of these building sets, and then we got another one in the prison tower set. So this will be the 3rd one. And if you can tell, this is Rick Grimes based off how he looked during the first half of season 4 whenever he was exiling Carol and took her out. He has the bandaged right hand. that he got after the fight with Tyreese. And has that pouch. Because he had said that they were going on a goods run, but really he was kicking Carol out. And if I move this arm up, you'll see that he has that holster there on his left-hand side, since his right hand is damaged with the revolver handle facing outward. So that's pretty neat. But about the same amount of detail we've gotten on the previous two Ricks with this one, which it looks good. I just wish that they would paint the faces a little more on these little figures. I mean, there's great detail all over, but it'd be nice to get some paint on those eyes instead of them just being that flesh tone. I'll get really close if you can't see what I'm talking about here. If my camera will focus in that close. Try from right here. There we go. Well, it's just the normal flesh tone of the rest of his face. There we go. You can see up in there. So it'd be nice to get some detail. But all in all, pretty happy with the way these always turn out. And now let's jump into these walkers. And we'll start off with the Merle Walker. And I really like this one. I think they did a good job on it. They detail these walkers even better than the humans. And this Merle Walker actually has one detail that his 5-inch scale action figure was missing. And that is the bullet hole in his chest and exit wound in the back from where the governor shot him. So that is really neat that they paid that close of attention to detail with that. When here they missed it on the 5-inch figure line. And he is missing his 2 fingers there on his left hand. And he's wearing the corresponding clothing that he was wearing at that time. The black jacket. And those cargo pants. So, really neat minifigure here. I like that zombie Merle. And then we'll take a look at one of the female herd walkers here. And this one's really neat. The hair looks gold almost though, which is a little weird, but I do like this figure's dress, and she just looks tattered there on the back. Looks really gruesome on the side of her face. Has a chunk missing out of it. Up along her scalp. And even down on her shoulder and neck area. And these herd walkers aren't necessarily based off certain characters. However, this next one is based off a specific zombie in the show. And that was the opening of Season 3, the episode Seed, whenever they were taking over the prison. And they ran into those riot gear zombies. Of course, we have already got these zombies in the 5-inch figures. This one being the riot gear gas mask zombie. And he has one really neat difference from his 5-inch counterpart, and that is he has a ripped up right arm with the bone exposed, which I think looks really good. And he is just covered in blood splatter. Even up on the face. Looks good on the back. I like how the riot gear turned out on these little mini figures. We got the normal riot gear zombie with the face mask and the prison gate and fence that was a Walmart exclusive. So this is another neat one to add to your army of riot gear zombies. And next up we have another one based off of the show, and that is the Charred Walker. And this is another figure that has already got a 5-inch scale figure that is kind of based off of. And this minifigure shares the same exact gimmick that his big brother has. And that is, if you have him in a lighted area, he will glow. You can tell right now, but then if I actually bring a light up and put it through him, you can really see that he's translucent with that redder plastic. So that's really cool. And I actually wouldn't mind having a couple of these, which I will be opening up one at the end and showing you how to put them together. And then we have the jawless female walker, which if you remember during season 1, whenever Rick, Daryl, Glenn, and T-Dog went back for Merle, this is the walker in the department store that Daryl shot in the face with an arrow. So I always liked this zombie in the show. I thought that was pretty neat. Reminded me of Dr. Tongue zombie. And they did a good job sculpting that hair for such a small figure. It looks good. Although her torso doesn't fit in all the way. That's as far as it'll go. So you can actually have her a little more hunched over, and that'll hide that if your minifigure does the same thing as mine. And then last up, we have this prison jumpsuit, number 2 zombie, which, as you can see, he is gruesome with his guts spilling. And he's a heavy-set walker, too. He's got some girth to him. And that was one neat difference I liked between the comic and the television show during this prison story arc, was that they changed the color of the jumpsuits. I know it just may be a small thing, but even those small things help separate one from the other. And he's just another great zombie to add to your horde at the prison. Really nice detail on this one, even the side of his head with that flesh exposed. And his mouth wide open. He's a gruesome looking one. So, alright, let me pop this bag open and show you how to put these together. Let me rip it open off screen real quick for you. I guess I should have already had it cut, huh? Yeah, there we go. And the first thing you're going to want to do with these is put the torso with the crotch piece. And it just pops right in. Nice easy fit. And then you can put the corresponding legs in. So these actually kind of act as articulation points. However, the feet are going to match up to be standing flush together. So you're not going to be able to move them around too much. And they do match up. The sculpt will match up on certain parts. And the arms stick in real easy. They're real tiny pegs. And of course you have that same articulation point with those arms right there at the shoulders, and same thing for the head. Once you put it on, you can rotate it there. So all just little cut points, but still nice that you can get somewhat of posability out of these. And of course very simple to put together. So I think this is a really solid Series 2. I thought Mcfarlane did a good job, upped the ante a little more from what they did with Series 1 with this Series 2. And if you're a fan of these building sets, I definitely suggest picking these up. And you may want to check your local GameStops now, because they have got them, but I know that they will be hitting all other retailers here very soon. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully we get some of the building sets coming up soon. I know the barrier trap is going to be coming out very soon, but I'm really looking forward to that RV and the Woodbury assault vehicle, some of those other ones coming out. So, alright guys, I will catch you later, and as always, thanks for watching.